The annual Grand Milad, brought to you by Hubbi Rasool, is taking place on November 8th at 6 p.m. Come celebrate the biggest Mawlid on the West Coast and raise the flags of love for this most blessed occasion. Take part in Salawat, Naat and Qawwali recitations. And ziyarah of the holy hair of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Also, enjoy a delicious 3-course meal, all included in this free event. Tickets are available now on nurmuhammad.com/events. Are you ever searching for what zikr to recite for a particular situation, or which prayer to make for an event or need? The search is over. We bring to you, through the Muhammadan Way app, an all-encompassing Islamic guide. A platform where you can find all the surahs from Holy Quran, special du'as and prayers, as well as live zikrs and comprehensive Islamic teachings from world-renowned scholars. Download this powerful app now and keep up to date with in-app notifications. Available for download on iOS and Android.
به غریبیم نظری فکن که تو پادشه ولایتی که تو پادشه ولایتی جانم حسین جانم حسین ای جان جانم حسین جانم حسین جانم حسین ای جان جانم حسین به دیار عشق تو ماندم کسی ندیده عنایتی به غریبیم نظری بکن که تو پادشه ولایتی جانم حسین جانم حسین ای جان جانم حسین جانم حسین جانم حسین ای جان جانم حسین شب بوی تات سبزی بکشم فراغ تو تا بکی غم بند مرا چنی بود از غم تو حکایتی جانم حسین جانم حسین ای جان جانم حسین جانم حسین جانم حسین ای جان جانم حسین اما برد گذر آورد حرام کشان خبر آورد رخ زرد و چشم تر آورد چه شود که کنی تو
وسلم وبارك على ابن آدم.
When light comes, it purifies. When the haqq of Allah which is the light of Sayyidina Muhammad it comes and dispels all darkness. When we turn off the light, that is our life in zulm. You go to your room, turn your lights off. This is me, this is my life, I'm an oppressor to myself. Allah said, verily you are an oppressor to yourself, because the arrogance of the ego, every ego thinks, no I'm also a haqq, I'm a truth. No, you are not a truth, you're a zalim. But the reality of light and the rahmah and the mercy of light is as soon as you turn a light on, immediately it pushes away darkness. And you can bring as much darkness as you want and it never overtakes the light. Means when the light of Prophet comes, by its nature it moves and every falsehood and zulumat will be obliterated. Falsehood by its nature is always perishing. Means whatever looks to be false, you think it to be standing, and Allah warning, don't worry, it has a time in which it will fall. But Nur Muhammad is eternal and is standing straight and bright. It is represented by the light of all the Prophets that they bring the light and the haqq of Allah. As soon as that light comes, that is the zaki, that is the purification. So then how to bring the light of Prophet very easy formula was make durood sharif, because they want for us to open these realities within our soul. These teachings are like food from paradise. But if you're too material, you're like, I'm full and I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking about how to acquire mass amounts of real estate. You're full and you're filled with your dunya desire, you have no interest in your paradise reality. So then the ilmu yaqeen or the knowledge is coming from their heart. Aynul yaqeen is your process of opening the heart, your eye of your heart. When the eye of the heart opens and the spiritual knowledge is open, Allah make it to be a haqq yaqeen for you. Because through your heart you're understanding. You should be witnessing the knowledge. It means you're tasting it, you're understanding it, and your shahada, your witnessing is real. If you don't witness it, you can't talk about it because it's not a truth for you, it was merely just you've heard it. So when the shaykh talks, in their contemplation they see it, they witness it with their soul, it's a truth for them. As a result it becomes haqq yaqeen. That is the sir and the secret of Prophet that power, that light and those knowledges, that Prophet is the treasure of Allah. As much as you're seeking ilmu yaqeen, ayna yaqeen, haqq yaqeen, as if the heart of Prophet opening, Ya walid, come and take. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alif Lam Mim, Dhalikal Kitab. Alif is Izzatullah, Allah giving a coding for us that now this kitab going to begin to open upon your soul. Lam, Ya Rabbi wounds them the Lam from your ancient tongue, the one whom you created to be your tongue for all your realities. Whatever Allah orders upon that Lam, it speaks for Allah, kun fayakun, and every angel begins to manifest what the order of Allah was through the heart of Prophet. Then the Mim comes to explain and prove that. Atiyullah, Alif, Atiya Rasul is the Lam. Wa ulul amri minkum, they obey the Mim of Sayyidina Muhammad means they're all at attention in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad waiting for his orders. What Allah orders comes to Prophet from Prophet goes out throughout all creation. Everything written upon the soul of Prophet awliyaullah, they carry Nur Anwar wa Sirat al-Asrar. They carry Nur Muhammad means all that light, all that reality is upon their light. They don't need an angel to come and go, that angel is a light from the light of Prophet. That angel merely sets up an office in there like a mobile phone, they put an extension. If Sayyidina Jibreel comes, he merely puts a portion of his light. He doesn't have to be all there, he just puts one molecule, one atom of his light, all his atoms communicate to him in an instant. Because we don't understand quantum. They found that your atom can be in many places and everywhere that atom is communicating. So Sayyidina Jibreel put one drop of his atom, a yellow light in your soul. He can hear through there, he can speak through there, he can send support through there. When Prophet sends support, he sends these angelic lights upon the soul. They don't have to come and go, they don't have to keep looking for where the zikr is. They know this one, he is Ahl dhikr. We deposit ourselves upon him, wherever he goes he's like a circle of zikr. He's carrying the love of Sayyidina Muhammad. Go to the asa, and they were all the inheritance of the Prophets. The asa, that when they carry the asa, and the reality of the asa is that it was the third prong. And women can also carry asa. There are nice stores online, they have very elegant asas that you order. The cane is the third prong, it is a grounding. Prophet was teaching 1500 years ago electrical grounding, that your 2 feet are 2 currents that are touching this earth. When you begin to understand there's an electromagnetic field upon the earth, it moves on the earth, your 2 feet are plugged in. That ability is giving you the ability to stand straight. Your feet are plugged into that energy, pulling that energy up. If you begin to understand the flow of energy, that earth energy is all negative and it's coming up, and Prophet described your biggest battle is going to be the equator of your reality. Your equator, like the earth, because we are a symbol of the earth, your equator is the belly button. So your body is like the earth, Prophet ﷺ described the entire battle of your being is your stomach. It's going to be your equator. Means all of your earth energy and negative energy, electromagnetic flow of energy is through the earth. All their desires, all their wounds, all their bad character is moving through the earth and moving up your body and clashing now into your belly. All your heavenly energy and heavenly dress upon the soul is your upper lataif, and that's why the heart lataif and the heart is based on the upper portion. Allah sends the tanzil al-rahmah and sends the manifestations and the lights of paradise and the soul realities upon the soul. And this is your yin and yang, and this is the great conflict for insan, that your energy, heavenly energy is coming and dressing your soul through the upper portion of your reality, and all the material desires are upon the earth clashing.
بمددكم من نظركم في هذا المجلس يا رب ضل عرش الرحمن. Shall we start with our salawat books? Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Nabiina Muhammad alayhi salam, salatan tadumu wa tuda ilay mamara layali wa tudala. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا فتحنا لك فتحا مبينا ليغفر لك الله ما تقدم من ذنبك وما تأخر ويتم نعمته عليك ويهديك صراطا مستقيما وينصرك الله نصرا عزيزا. لقد جاءكم رسول من أنفسكم عزيز عليه ما عنتم حريص عليكم بالمؤمنين رؤوف رحيم. وإن تولوا فقل حسبي الله لا إله إلا هو عليه توكلت وهو رب العرش العظيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الفاتحة ولدنا وولدكم وأهلنا وأولادنا ولمشايخنا ولمن حضرنا ولمن غاب عنا وللحينا ولأمواتنا وللمواطنين على هذا المجلس ولمن كان سببا في جمعنا. لأن الله الكريم ينور القلوب ويغفر الذنوب ويسر العيوب ويحفظنا بما حفظ بالذكر وينصرنا بما نصر بالرسول. وأن الله الكريم يجعل مجلسنا هذا مخاطر بالخيرات والمسارات والأموال والبركات ويهدي لنا جميع الحاجات بجاه خير البريات. وأن الله ينصر المسلمين ولديتنا الله الكريم ينصر سلطان الأولياء مولانا الشيخ محمد ناظم عادل الحقاني قدس الله سره بجاه خير الأنام. ولكل نية صالحة وحسن خاتمة عند الموت وادعو من الفتاة له وإلى حضرة النبي. سورة الفاتحة. آمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أنت سلطاننا يا ربنا اغفر لنا وارحمنا وتب علينا وزد حبيبك سيدنا الأولين والآخرين سيدنا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم. زده يا ربي عزا وشرافا ونورا وسرورا وسلطانا ورضوانا رغم الشيطان ومن تقيه. عباد الله رجال
يا رسول الله.
اللهم صل وسلم وبارك عليه وعلى آله. We have two for Imam Ali Salam, inshallah, and then for Mawlana Shami Shabbat.
سر کوی بلند فریاد کردم، علی شیر خدا را یاد کردم، علی شیر خدا دردم دوا کن، مناجات مرا پیش خدا کن.
Ya
صل وسلم وبارك عليه. Do you have another one for Moshe Shmuel? وسائر ساداتنا وصدقين عن الفاتحة. آمين يا رب العالمين. شو بنيات ختم خلقك. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. مدد يا سيدي يا رسول الكريم يا حبيب العظيم وجوهرنا وبشرنا وبدون مددكم وبمددكم. مدد يا سيدي يا سلطان الأولي مشاهد الفيض الداغستاني الشيخ محمد ناظم حقاني مولانا الشيخ هشام كباني الشيخ عدنان كباني الشيخ محمد عادل صاحب وصل محمد المهدي السلام الدخالك الخروج دوالي بمددكم ونزلكم في هذا المجلس يا رب العرش العظيم. بنيات ختم خلق شده. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أستغفر الله 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 أستغفر
العظيم الذي لا إله إلا الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه إنه هو التواب الرحيم ودين الإسلام من كل ما يقال الشريعة من كل ما يقال الطريقة من كل ما يقال المعرفة من كل ما يقال الحقيقة من كل ما يقال نظيما يا أرحم الراحمين يا الله اللهم يا مسبب الأسباب يا مفتح الأبواب مقلب القلوب والأبصار يا ذا المتحيرين يا غياث المستغيثين يا حي يا قيوم يا ذا الجلال والإكرام وفوضوا أمر الله إن الله بصير بالعباد.
Rabbit al-Sharif, asking to always see yourself at Rose al-Sharif in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. مددكم من نزلكم سيدي يا رسول الكريم يا حبيب and عبدك الله جيسو ضعيف ومسكين وظالم وجهل. But for the grace of Allah we are still in existence.
فاتحة الشريف بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين صلوات الشريف اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم 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 ألم نشرح لك الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. الله أكبر.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا لك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا
فإذا فرغت فانصب
وإلى ربك فارغب. الله أكبر.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا لك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا
فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى
ربك فارغب. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا لك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا
فإذا فرغت فانصب
وإلى ربك فارغب. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا لك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا
فإذا فرغت فانصب
وإلى ربك فارغب. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا لك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا
فإذا فرغت فانصب
وإلى ربك فارغب. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا لك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا
فإذا فرغت فانصب
وإلى ربك
فارغب. الله أكبر. إخلاص الشريف. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله
أكبر. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
الله أكبر. فاتحة الشريف. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
بسم الله الرحمن
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين.
بسم الله الرحمن
الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين
آمين. صلوات الشريف. اللهم
صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم اللهم 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 صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد وسلم.
صل يا رب وسلم جميع الأنبياء والمرسلين وكل أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. إلى شرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أصحابه الكرام وعلى مشايخنا في طريقة النقشبندية العلية خاصة روح ممتلك غوث قليك شان نشبه محمد ويسى البخاري سلطان أولياء الشيخ محمد الفايز الدغستاني سلطان الشيخ محمد نازم هذا الحكاري مولانا الشيخ الشام كباني الشيخ عدنان كباني الشيخ محمد ما عبد خالق الخوش تواني صاحب زمان سيد محمد المهدي عليه السلام وروح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام سيف الله سيدنا علي السلام ثم سيدنا أبي بكر الصديق سيدنا عمر سيدنا عثمان إمام الحسن السلام إمام حسين السلام وسيدنا فاطمة السلام وسيد ساداتنا والصديقين. الفاتحة. آمين يا رب العالمين.
ولم أنه لا إله إلا الله 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 سيدنا ونبينا محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. لا إله إلا الله
محمد رسول الله عليه صلاة الله. لا إله إلا الله
محمد حبيب الله
عليه صلاة الله. لا إله إلا الله
محمد نبي الله
عليه صلاة الله. لا إله إلا الله
محمد خليل الله
عليه صلاة الله. لا إله إلا الله
محمد صفي الله
عليه صلاة الله. لا إله إلا الله
محمد نجي الله
عليه صلاة الله. لا إله إلا الله
محمد شفيع الله
عليه صلاة
صلاة الله وسلامه. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. ألا يا الله حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. نعم المولى ونعم النصير. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم.
Ha, 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 ha.
نعم المولى ونعم النصير لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العظيم حي 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 حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الله الله حق 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 الله
يا مغلوب يا شاهدا غير بغيب يا شاهدا غير بغيب يا شاهدا غير بغيب يا قاربا غير بعيد يا قاربا غير بعيد يا قاربا غير بعيد يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب يا غالبا غير مغلوب.
حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. بشرف النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى أصحابه الكرام ولمشايخنا في طريقة النقشبندية الرحمانية خاصة روح إمام طريقة غوث خليقة شاه نقشبند محمد ويسى البخاري سلطان أولياء شيخ محمد الفايز الداغستاني شيخ محمد ناظم حقاني مولانا شيخ هشام كباني شيخ عدنان كباني شيخ محمد آدم عبد خالق البشتواني صاحب زمان سيدنا محمد المهدي عليه السلام وروح الله سيدنا عيسى عليه السلام وسيف الله سيدنا علي ثم سيدنا أبي بكر الصديق سيدنا عمر سيدنا عثمان إمام الحسن عليه السلام إمام الحسين عليه السلام سيدنا فاطمة عليه السلام وسيد وسادتنا وصديقنا الفاتحة. آمين. Struggling? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أطيعوا الله أطيعوا رسوله وأولي الأمر منكم. And a reminder always for myself, أنا عبدك العجيز ضعيف مسكين ظالم الجهل. And but by the grace of Allah that we are still in existence, that we are not thinking that we are anything, and that we pray for Allah's rahmah and mercy to always be dressing upon us. And that no need for Allah to humble us with punishment. We already acknowledge we are nothing in life, and that Allah's grace and mercy and rahmah to be upon us and forgive us our shortcomings and our wrongdoings. Alhamdulillah that Allah granted for us a understanding of the world of light. Means that the people whom Allah inspire for dhikrullah, to remember Allah so that Allah remember them, and that in that remembrance and in their character and in their training, their shaykhs taught them the world of light and malakut and paradises. Their hunger, their desire is for the paradise reality, not the dunya. So from what they learned and how they talk is about the paradise reality, not the dunya reality. And there's dunya in everything. There's dunya in everything of our religious practices. There's the dunya within the religious practice, and there's the paradise reality within the practice. That which is greater is the paradise reality. So we said for Thursdays inshaAllah is our muraqabah nights to talk about tafakkur and the contemplation. And Allah's biggest example of tafakkur is the Holy Kaaba. That from wherever you are to focus on the Kaaba, and that to visualize that you are praying in the presence of the Holy Kaaba, and that you're going to be making your salah. So that is a tafakkur, that is a contemplation. And awliyaullah come and teach from Sayyidina Muhammad's teaching that anybody who enters into paradise can never leave paradise. Anything of a paradise reality, it always stays in paradise. So one of the Prophets of Allah wanted to go with his physical body to see paradise. And he kept begging the angel that, come, just let me see. I just want to see how's paradise, how's everything up there. He said, no, you can't, you know the rules, you have to stay on the earth, but you can't go to paradise. He insisted so much that the angel got nervous. He's a Prophet of Allah. And when he asked Ya Rabbi, he keeps asking, he wants to come to paradise. What am I supposed to say? Take him. Let him see the paradises. And he went with his physical body in the paradise and said, alhamdulillah, I'm not going. Now that you open for me to see it, I'm not leaving. I said, but what do you mean you're not leaving? I have to go back down to there. First is an example and an understanding that anything that enters into a paradise reality, Allah keeps this world of light is something that can't be understood through physicality. But every action that you do with your soul is from paradise, is a light. And that soul of yours can infinitely be dispersed. Allah keeps a portion of your soul. If you ever visited the Holy Kaaba, you made Umrah or Hajj, any paradise action that you do, you have to know with all your heart and soul that your soul is right there. That's a paradise location, that's a paradise reality. As soon as you visit it, your soul will stay. Allah won't let you just to depart back into dunya. Allah keeps a portion of your soul right in that paradise reality. And every dress Allah going to be dressing upon that reality. So means that your reality can be everywhere, especially if you are making ziyarah and going to see holy places, holy locations and holy souls. That wherever you're going, your soul is receiving that tajalli of the Holy Kaaba. Imagine the power it's receiving from holy Medina. That the soul visited and it stays, it's like a light, you have to visualize your ruhaniyat can infinitely be dispersed. And Allah keeps one form of your ruhaniyat right there in the presence of Madinatul Munawwar, in the presence of Sayyidina Muhammad. It's a paradise reality, the highest paradise reality. And every dress that coming upon that soul is dressing your location wherever you are on this earth. Dressing, and that becomes the faiz and the blessings that Allah wanted for this paradise creation. That when you go to the Kaaba, your soul stays and receives the tajalli and it's receiving that light and sending that. So science understood now the reality of a wave and a particle. And they understood that when this light turns into a wave, it communicates with each other. They had a split in a prism, they took a beam of light, split. These three splits each communicated with each other. And that's when awliya would say, and Abu Yazid al-Bistami said, I have been in 24,000 places and prayed Jummah today. He split his light and prayed Jummah in 24,000 locations to get more barakah than when me and you go for one place for Jummah. If we go, means this world of light is immense in its reality and its understanding. So then when they're sending their soul and receiving the faiz of the soul, that is the first muraqabah that Allah is teaching. That keep your presence, if you visited physically, then alhamdulillah you went physically, your soul was dispersed in that location, and every salah is a connection back to that reality. That you visualize yourself again at the Holy Kaaba and receiving the faiz and the light and to feel. And this ocean of light and the reality of Iman. Iman is what you make it to be. Faith has no limitation. Nobody can put a limit on what your faith is capable of doing, because that's the sign of rijal. Why awliya and pious people became awliya is because Allah granted them sincerity, and their faith like mountains means that what they believe, Allah granted their belief to be true. And Allah has no limitation on what He wants. Whom Allah gives the mulk, who can say no? And whom Allah denies the mulk, who can say they're going to get it? Means Allah is the one who distributes this reality. But the vastness of this light and mix with the reality of faith. You believe it and you're sincere. You believe it and you're sincere, Allah makes it to be real for you. And this is the importance of building faith. Those who live a life of their external means the dunya. They go to the Kaaba, they see a house of stones and they leave. And they go and they think that how amazing it is because the time is becoming very difficult and very dark now. They go and they don't really even understand the extent of this Kaaba, are you only facing it or are you praying to it? Because it's only dunya understanding, no light understanding, no paradise understanding. Paradise understanding, it's merely a placeholder. Allah just wants you to face there because there's a light emanating from there that's going to be dressing you. And your soul going to be sitting and standing in that location receiving these emanations until the Day of Judgment. Those whom have a dunya understanding, they see only the house and they want to touch the house, and when they leave the house all they talk about is the house. And they go back home and it was like a visit, they saw the house, they left, they said it was beautiful, the tajallis were so amazing, they felt the sense of peace and went. But they never really connected with the house. And this is the reality of tafakkur. Allah gives all of these realities on earth, it's a matter of what you want to do with it. If you want the Kaaba just to be a house that you visited and you went home and you have pictures around your house of the Holy Kaaba, and it becomes a dunya, it becomes a mulk understanding for you, the benefit of it becomes very limited. Your understanding and the depth of your understanding becomes very limited. But with these guides of light, their teaching is no. When you're going there, there's a reality there. There's a faiz and an emanation that emanating from that Holy Kaaba, you should be connecting with it. You should be connecting your heart. You're praying only to Allah, but Allah wants you to take a secret from the emanation of that house, what's coming through that house. Are you able to connect your heart with it? That's the first level of muraqabah for everyone. When they say there's no meditation in Islam. So what are you doing then with the Kaaba if you're not meditating every salah? Where are you taking yourself in every salah? So Allah is saying, no, you have to. You have to visit it once to make your connection firm, and all your life you have to pray focusing upon it. So this is tafakkur. This is the concept of keeping your tafakkur. But if they're zahiri and external understanding, they see it as only a house of whatever the house is, who cares? The internal and the people of paradise, Allah want them to know, no, this is a paradise reality. Every salah and every namaz, connect your heart, Ya Rabbi, I'm nothing. Let the paradise lights to dress me, to bless me, to fill me with their emanation. Now imagine everything on earth that's from that paradise. وَلَقَدْ كَرَمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. That which Allah built with His two hands and blow His Holy Spirit, it's secret of that verse itself. What Allah put in the secret of Bani Adam, that them, if they become clean, if they become pure, their heart is my house. There's a house that you built with stones, because humans built the Kaaba and put it there, and there's a house that Allah built, is insan. Said, this insan whom I built, I guided, I blowed into my spirit into his heart or her heart, they are of a paradise reality walking upon earth. So then don't make a personality cult out of the shaykh, because it becomes like the worshipping of the Kaaba. It's not about amassing pictures and being so wrapped in the personality, this my shaykh, that my shaykh, he's my shaykh, he's not my shaykh, this my shaykh. But what are you able to get from the shaykh? The shaykh is like a Kaaba, is walking in many places. You're just trying to rub and hold and think, oh, I got a vicinity. Or same with the Kaaba, are you able to connect your heart and say, Ya Rabbi, that if this is a shaykh, your lights must be within his heart. I must take a way in which to be a treasure hunter and retrieve those lights from that heart and from that soul. And then the use of the shaykh becomes a proper understanding. Zahiri, they just want photos and clicking and making a personality out of the person and really never truly understanding the reality of the shaykh nor tapping into the reality. But what they're coming to teach with tafakkur is that, no, you find the shaykh and then you begin to live a life in which you connect your heart, Ya Rabbi, I'm nothing, let me to be, wa kunu ma'a sadiqeen. That you have consciousness of Allah means fear the bad and encouraged to do the good, and that, Ya Rabbi, let me to keep his company or her company. Let me to receive the fires and the light that emanating from their soul. Let me to make that connection from my soul to soul. Then you begin to understand that which is from paradise, you can never leave it. There's no leaving a shaykh. People have no brain. As soon as they talk, you can understand the level of their knowledge. Their tongue gives away their maqam. If I'm not in Mecca, do you think I'm not praying inside the Kaaba? Only the people go to Mecca, they get to pray. It's kindergarten people. Means there are people who, that's their Zahiri life. Yeah, they go to Mecca at that time, they believe, they go back home, maybe go to Las Vegas after, because their faith is based on just one trip. But what they're teaching, no, there are people whom when they reach sincerity, they focus. Not only their soul is in the presence of the Holy Kaaba at all times, Allah invited them inside the Holy Kaaba. With who? 124,000 prophets, 124,000 Sahabi, 124,000 Ahlul Bayt, 124,000 awliyaullah. When Allah says, I'm with Nabiyeen, Siddiqeen, Shuhada'i wa Salihin. This is the best of company. If this is Allah's house, this is Allah's words. If we're going to be with Allah, we're with all of those souls, means Allah has their soul inside there. So are they ever not together? No. And they don't have to go to Mecca to reunite. They don't have to take a plane ticket and spend $50,000 on a Hajj package to reunite and see each other. Means just at this level of understanding, their souls are always in the Kaaba. If there are Kaabas and Qiblas on this earth, there are 124,000 awliyaullah. If there are Kaabas and Qiblas, their souls are always together, there's not a way to leave them. Anything from paradise stays in paradise, anything bonded with the love of paradise stays in paradise. It's only the mulk that spreads out and because of shaitan it breaks and becomes farqa, becomes different categories. But malakut is the ocean of tawheed and oneness. They're in one ocean in that reality and they never leave that ocean. Means that this world of light, when they teach us to make the connection to the world of light, there's oneness in the world of light. All the shaykhs are together, all the tariqas are together, all praying to keep their hand upon the hand of Sayyidina Muhammad. There's no firqa. Ittasimu bihablillah wa tafarraq. Allah is talking in the world of light, telling these souls, hold tight to my rope Sayyidina Muhammad and don't make groups. The world of light never separates. It by its nature, it melts, has no ego, it melts itself. Sifat al-Qahar crushes it into an ocean of nothing, it just becomes one ocean of light. And that's the reality of the ocean of light, that the light is all together, the light is bonded together, and they're teaching us connect to the world of light so that all this ignorance will be dispelled from your belief. Don't live a life of form in which you make yourself into groups and you're with this group, you're with that group, that group. All these groups are on the hands of Sayyidina Muhammad. Whomever you find your heart connected with, connect your heart. Sit and make your tafakkur and your contemplation. Say, if you are Muhammadiyun, Send this light of Prophet ﷺ into my heart. Take away my bad condition and raise me into a better condition. Then he understood that their purpose on life was not to be personalities of worship, but they were supposed to be receptacles of sending and spreading prophetic light upon the earth. Means they draw you to themselves and they teach about their master. They teach about the greatness of Sayyidina Muhammad, so that when you draw near to them, you draw near to that haqqaiq and that reality, the greatness and the beauty that makes Allah happy. Because it's marifah, and when Allah wants to grant you marifah, He grants you what He loves. Allah doesn't want to grant you the love of Himself, His love is Sayyidina Muhammad. So if they are awliyaullah, their purpose is what? Like a Kaaba, come. But don't be distracted by the personality, but now take an understanding of this love of Sayyidina Muhammad. Close your eyes and receive that faiz. Close your eyes and make that love connection to Sayyidina Muhammad. Take these knowledges into your heart and into your soul and go deeper towards your reality. Connect with the one whom will never disappoint you. Connect with the one whom is most praised in all of Allah's creation. Sayyidina Muhammad. That's their role. If they brought you to that and put your hand onto that rope and you connected to that rope, you have been granted a tremendous success. That is the victory of this life. That Allah grant a victory and an opening. And the greatest opening for Allah is if us to connect in the middle of all this shayateen of dunya, to connect our love and hook it on to the love of Sayyidina Muhammad, so that the love of Prophet be blessing us, dressing us, taking away every type of difficulty and granting us from every type of rahmah and mercy. Bi hurmati Muhammad al-Mustafa wa bi sirri sunnati Fatiha. But because the dunya is filled with people of the mulk, they're continuously bombarding and making fitnas. Because they're, when people say dunya, they think it's like only Las Vegas. No, the dunya understanding is anything that you're putting from the material world into your faith, which it becomes just external. Everything to you is external. Islam is like this, Iman is like this, and they don't even talk about the rest. But this way is based on reaching the paradise reality of every action. What's the paradise reality? If we learn from that, then we would understand they're never separated from each other. It's a nucleus. Can you reach from the nucleus and then leave the nucleus? Impossible. Your commands may come different for your physical form. This is by order of Prophet may order your physical form to go to the east or go to the west. That's not in your command, it's the command of Sayyidina Muhammad. But the nucleus is always with them, they're always one. Everything is always one. Even the great agitator upon this whole of earth is an ocean of oneness. We won't go into that. What do we got as questions, inshallah, for meditation? Okay. But I probably answered already your questions of paradise lights and paradise realities. Is anybody out there?
Yeah, just mashallah, lots of people.
You got to filter them. Only good questions.
Basically, this one person's asking a question, rather than always, for example, if you've been by yourself all day and you didn't do anything wrong that day, when I do my meditation, what should I ask besides to say I'm nothing?
You didn't do anything wrong that day? Then you're probably already walking on water, inshallah. MashaAllah, you're a big wali.
Because they've been home all day.
That's good. You're at home all day. You weren't lazy. You did all your zikrs. You did all your awrads. Make istighfar for yourself always. Then istighfar for the family. Because we're making istighfar always as a means in which the power of istighfar, astaghfirullah al-azim wa atubu ilayk, it opens Allah's rahmah by when you ask Allah's forgiveness. Allah says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of my generosity and my compassion, I'm forgiving you. So if you want Allah's zikr upon you, then you make istighfar. So every time we say astaghfirullah al-azim wa atubu ilayk, Allah replies with Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So by washing, and istighfar is like a cleansing, Ya Rabbi, I'm cleansing. If everything is clean off of me today, now I'm asking istighfar from my children, from my community, from my loved ones. And then you become one whom, if you're excess positive, you can become a benefit to society. So it's a means in which to clean ourselves and clean all the homes around us and all the people that we love and we care for each other.
I can answer another question. Someone was asking, during meditation, what are the different types of zikrs to recite during the meditation?
The different types of meditation. So if we're going to do a breathing meditation, then you just focus on the breath. You play salawats, make your connection and just breathe for energy and qudra. That you're trying to develop now your breathing. You're trying to also develop the faculty of focusing, which is very difficult for people whose minds are too active. That's why a lot of people in last days don't like to meditate, because the active mind is so wound up and so active they can't really sit and focus on one thing. They're thinking 1,000 things at a time. So then this process of sitting for that type of meditation is, I just want to shut my active mind down, I want to breathe, I want to see myself at the holy Kaaba in the presence of my shaykh, that I'm with my shaykh, that I want to be at the Kaaba, dress me from the lights of the Kaaba, listen to something so that you don't have waswas in your ear, and make sure that you feel the pulse of your hand so that the focus is on the heart, and then just breathing, and just 2, 3, 4 minutes a day of your breathing practices to make sure that you're breathing and able to shut your mind and to focus. Then there's meditation in which you can do with your awrad. You sit down, you connect with the shaykh, say, I'm nothing, Ya Rabbi, let me to be with your pious people, and that I want to do my awrad, say that it's not me, I want your blessings and you to do the awrad from the barakah and niyat and intention that you have and I don't know, because you know a greater intention than what I would know. And then I sit and do my awrad, ashhadu, 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 astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah.
Also touched on that. Sheikh, kindly can you address the question about how sound can affect thoughts? Thoughts are silent. But sound? How sound can affect thoughts? I was thinking maybe salawat playing, I don't know.
Yeah, why we don't meditate in silence is because of that, the danger of shaitan coming through the ear and making waswas. So as soon as you meditate, you're leaving a very open a mic for shaitan. So as soon as you make your tafakkur and you want to contemplate, if you leave the mic open, most likely the tafakkur will be based on his whisperings. Oh, why did your boss say this? Or why did it like this? Or why like that? That's now an open mic for waswas. And you've stopped everything to focus. Instead of focusing on a higher reality, you're just focusing on the waswas now. So many people, when they start to meditate, they go crazy because they start to hear all the gossipings and listen to all these gossipings. And then they super analyze every single sort of negative issue. So the secret for that was then put salawat. That it's not about to hear anything from your ears. You're going to put salawats to take yourself in a mode of where the angels are praising upon Prophet ﷺ. That I'm in the presence of Prophet ﷺ in holy Medina, I'm nothing, that keep your nazar upon me, and I just want to breathe, or I'm going to do my different salawats and my zikrs.
Someone had asked a question saying, during the meditation, if they're feeling like their ears are burning or heating up, What does that mean?
Yeah, inshallah, make sure that you always have the ta'weez on, because this is now, you know, a battle in energy. So make sure that you started the meditation with wudu, that you have your ta'weez on, that you made your connection and your madad, and the rest leave to Allah. The energy is going to come and you're going to get heated, either in your neck, your hands, your feet, your ears. There's going to be an exchange of energy. An energy that you're trying to bring is a positive energy, and there's going to be all the negative energy that people have upon themselves, so one's got to go. The positive energy is going to come and the negative energy is not going to try to release very easily. So there is going to be an exchange of energy and heated energies and cold energies. Just make sure if yourself is all washed and clean and you have your ta'weez and you're doing your practices. And it goes along with everything else that we're taught, is that when you enter into the energy world and this energy training, you have to be hypersensitive to everything. Don't smoke, don't drink, it goes without even saying, don't do crazy things. Because once you open the door to energy and you engage in behavior that is not to the benefit of your spiritual being, you're now in a dangerous area. Because then shaitan can come big time and attack and to make your life really upside down. Somebody grabbed a ta'weez and bought a ta'weez and then decided he wants to go every night to a nightclub. Of course he's going to have tremendous problems, because now you're bringing in positive energy, positive beings and taking them into the satanic realm and like making them fight each other. You start seeing the dishes flying in the house and things going all over the place. So you try to say, okay, I'm going to leave the bad to the best of my ability and I want to improve myself towards the good, inshallah.
Someone had a question about placing of the hands and grounding during meditation.
Yeah, visualizing again that there's a tremendous positive light, but we have also a tremendous amount of negativity that we collect throughout the day. So that when you're going to be grounding with either hand, you'll do your grounding, that you bring in energy and you're breathing in, you visualize breathing in the positive energy, and then you visualize that you're going to be grounding out any type of negativity with the hand. If you're holding the left hand to feel your heart, then put the right hand onto the ground, breathe in your energy and ask to sort of ground all the negativity. See a light coming in with every breath, and every exhale pushing out any type of darkness or difficulty, inshallah.
What should one do when they slip into deep meditation, sleep during meditation? How to prevent it? They're so deep into meditation.
Yeah, that the energy becomes so heavy it actually knocks you out. So that's why in the training, then the meditation was always in an uncomfortable position. As we got older, we got a little bit of arthritis in our knees. We can't do, but in our training years, we were meditating with a bench. So we were always on the knee, and they have a little squatting bench where you can sit on your knees and it just supports yourself to be on a position of your knees. The Prophet's teaching was to be uncomfortable. The hawa and the desires, how to bring the hawa down. So our Master Sayyidina Muhammad set the example by sleeping on bamboo. He would sleep in a very uncomfortable material, so that when the Sahabi awoke they were very upset to see Prophet is having the marks of these things. He said, we can give you something very luxurious to sleep on. He says, no, it makes it easier for me to wake up for my fajr. So it means that was the teaching for hawa and desire to go down, make things uncomfortable. So if you sit in an uncomfortable position then and have coffee and tea or black tea, Grand Shaykh Abdul Faiz al-Dagestani would have 11 cups of black tea before Fajr. So it means he liked it strong. So because of the amount of energy that comes and the amount of awareness they want to keep, and qahwa and coffee was actually developed by the Sufis as a means to pray their tahajjud and their Fajr prayers. So don't meditate on a full stomach, you'll definitely knock out and you'll take away all the barakah of the energy. The energy that's coming to you has to move freely through your system. So you can always eat nicely after your meditation, after the zikr nights. Never eat before the zikr if you want to feel the energy, otherwise the zikr just becomes like a place where you're going to sleep. Because the body's too involved in to digest the food, than for you to feel the process and the movement of that energy. But when you enter into a state of hunger into your practices, you feel the energy. That gives its own himmah and excitement that these energies are coming and I'm feeling these energies and to benefit from it, versus making the self to be dull or not to feel it. So they don't eat before.
So should we keep notes of what we see during our meditation?
You keep a journal of important understandings, or if the shaykh is inspiring your heart to understand something, but don't worry about the world of seeing, because that can become very nafsani. You just keep an understanding for yourself. And even Imam Ali salam, that I annihilated in my annihilation. It means that in every tafakkur and contemplating, they'll train higher, that annihilate and negate everything. Because if you're sitting there and say, I'm meditating and now they're bringing a sword for me, they bring a jup for me, they brought a turban for me, I'm going here, I'm going there. You're now letting your nafs to take over the meditation and the contemplation. Just always telling ourselves, I'm nothing, I'm nothing, I'm not worthy of any of these things, Ya Rabbi, let me just to keep the company of my shaykh. And by keeping his nazar upon me, let me just to enter an ocean of energy and light. All I want, Ya Rabbi, is energy and light, send me into energy and light. Until you can reach a place in which you feel energy and lightning coming from every direction and dressing your soul. Everything else to negate, I'm nothing, I don't need that, Ya Rabbi, I'm nothing. Thank you very much, I don't want it. Because you don't want to be rude in case it really was something as a gift.
Should we avoid touching people when we are trying to cleanse and build our energy?
Did he send it?
No.
Or is that right? Raj sending it? Because we're at a distance, maybe Raj is logging in. I'd like to address this too. I think according to Islamic law, everybody should avoid touching everybody at all situations, inshaAllah. But to understand on a serious level is that when we meditate, you're entering now into an energy world, and that in itself is a even some advanced meditation people, they don't really get the concept of energy. That everything you build is an electrical field, and there are some scientists now that come and say, what's the charge on every cell? Like one something percentage of a volt, but you have 7 trillion or 5 trillion of these cells, means you're a very powerful energy being. If you could harness all that energy, imagine what type of energy would come out of a person, and it's not even a battery, it's being made internally by Allah. So it means that love, hate, hasad, these are very strong energy conductors. So once you begin to understand that you meditate and you contemplate, you're building very positive energy field. So your whole energy field is moving. No doubt that any positive energy is going to conduct negative energy, just very basic. If I put a positive charge, anything negative will be attracted to it. So it's like a light bulb on a dark night, all the mosquitoes come. That's why you don't meditate and open up your energy and then sit in the mall and start to meditate in the mall. You'll now pick up all the negative charges of all the people and all their actions. If that's what you want to do, then you can do that, but it's not recommended. So you try to preserve your energy, you preserve it and keep it secure by wudu, by washing and unnecessarily touching.
And then part of the meditation, some people do muhasabah during the meditation. So you're saying during the muhasabah, you realize that you have a lot of jealousy. So how do we fix the jealousy?
Yeah, that when you take the muhasabah and you start to write all of these issues in our lives, and then to understand the sickness is the first step in it. That when you confront your sickness and say that I have jealousy issues, at least then you get your zikr, your istighfar, your salawats, and keep asking Prophet that I know that I'm a jealous person, take this off of my eyes. Take this nazar off my eyes, that my eyes to be content with what life Allah has given to me. And then they begin the alhamdulillah wa shukran lillah, alhamdulillah wa shukran, because when the eye is too hungry it's not content with what Allah has given to you. And then it makes us to be in a difficult situation with Allah. So the first level is to identify, and most people won't go through their whole life thinking that they have no character defects. But when you point out all the problems and they say, what's the root of that problem? And it must be hasad, I have a jealousy, I can't stand why this person has this and I don't have it. Then we identified it as a huge step that, Ya Rabbi, I have hasad, I have hasad. Ya Sayyidi Ya Rasul Kareem, keep your nazar upon me, Ya awliya Allah, keep your nazar upon me and take this from my heart, take this from my eyes, take this sickness from my eyes and from my heart. Then every salawat and istighfar that we're doing is now directed towards the sickness that we know we have. And then alhamdulillah wa shukran lillah that, Ya Rabbi, I'm happy with what you have given me. I'm razi with what you have, bi'izzatika radiyan, biqismatika radiyan wa bi'izzatika sajidan. Ya Rabbi, I'm happy. When do I come in? From do I come in? بِقِسْمَتِكَ رَاضِيًا وَبِإِزَّتِكَ سَاجِدًا. That I am radi, I am happy with what you have written for me, and I'm making my sujood into your izzat and your might. I can't change my condition, only you can change, Ya Rabbi. If you see that I need more, then it's only up to you, Ya Rabbi. But I'm radi, I'm rida with what you have given to me. And then Allah is happy with the servant who's happy with Allah.
Someone was asking, what should our diet be since we started meditation? What food should one avoid?
Yeah, that's a very personal nature of what type of foods do you like. Try to eat less before the meditation. Try to meditate on an empty stomach. I know that everything has an energy. As your practices become stronger, you'll become more sensitive to the different energies. So Mawlana Shaykh's teaching is that the meat has an energy. If you eat a lot of chicken, you find yourself to be very picky. You basically take on the characteristic of that which you eat. So it's better to be like a broccoli than a chicken. Broccoli doesn't seem like it's harming too many people, but this chicken character, you know, the picky. So Mawlana Shaykh said that the chicken is always looking for a worm. So basically you take on the energy of all of these creatures that you're eating, the things you're eating. In the Muslim world, I think they eat the lamb because it's a very passive animal. The cow is a very grazing animal and just likes to eat all day long. Before you know it, you eat too much beef and you're grazing like a cow all day long. So you take on the characteristic and the attribute of the animal that you eat. So then the vegetables, the food, the animals, everything in moderation. But try our best not to eat before we meditate, inshaAllah.
Someone's asking, is there any specific meditation or zikrs for during pregnancy?
During pregnancy is a very powerful time. There's this tremendous amount of angels, a tremendous secret of creation is entering within the womb. The meditation should be very powerful. Like connecting your heart with the Shaykh, connecting with Prophet ﷺ, asking to be dressed from the lights of Holy Qur'an. You may begin to hear the Holy Qur'an being recited to the child, that the Qur'an is recited within the womb to develop the child in its development phases. So the meditation for women could be very positive and very powerful. And meditation generally by women is more powerful than the men, because Allah gave them these two openings. Because Allah gave within their heart a secret and gave within their womb a secret. So because of these two secrets, they can reach much faster. And the nature and sensitive nature makes them to be again more softer towards the approach of realities, where men have become hardened and become more difficult and more stubborn to reach towards their reality, where they're denying it. But because of the sensitivity, that's why in the last days many women can fall prey to Dajjal and the whole system of difficulty. Because they're sensitive in their nature, their energy is easily hijacked. The shaitan can play with their sensitivity and flip all their switches. So the man who's insensitive, he has a harder time shaitan to play with him to that extent. So it goes both ways, that if they're going to meditate and contemplate, they have to build their faith and their practices and understand the energy world and understand how shaitan is playing with them.
Sayyidi, can we remove negative and false thoughts, beliefs and waswas from shaitan that cause fear through muraqabah?
Yeah, that's the whole process, is that shaitan is gaining access to the ear and to the heart, and that he's trying to overtake the faith of the believer. So those faculties are the ones that you're going to focus when you're doing the tafakkur. When you're doing the tafakkur, it's such a tremendous power, shaitan doesn't allow it. That as soon as you want to make your connection, that I want to connect my heart, Ya Rabbi, keep me with you, keep me with Prophet, keep me with these ulul am, that dress your light upon me, dress your nazar upon me. Then they begin to teach you all the different things that you're supposed to do, how to keep your wudu, how to make your salawats, how to keep the house with all these taweezes of Qur'an and all these beautiful calligraphies, so that to fortify and sanctify yourselves. As you build your energy, the more powerful your energy becomes, the more it pushes away these devils and these bad energies, pushes them to stay further away by the strength of the energy that you're building within the heart. So it's important to build that energy and to begin to push these things away. But not for a blink of an eye. Prophet said, "Don't leave me to my nafs for a blink of an eye." So don't think for a moment the shaitan's not waiting to attack, that oh, he's gone away. Never. He's waiting for a mistake.
People saying, "Mashallah, you're answering so many answers in one question, you're answering many other questions."
Allah bless you, forgive me, inshaAllah. With that we will keep it fresh until next week. بحرمة محمد المصطفى وبسر رسول الفاتحة. Kebabs on me. No, just
Subhanallah.
Just broccoli and cauliflower. Assalamu alaikum. Lloyd, are we off?
The annual Grand Milad, brought to you by Hubbi Rasool, is taking place on November 8th at 6 p.m. Come celebrate the biggest Mawlid on the West Coast and raise the flags of love for this most blessed occasion. Take part in salawat, naat and qawwali recitations, and ziyarah of the holy hair of Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. Also, enjoy a delicious 3-course meal, all included in this free event. Tickets are available now on nurmuhammad.com/events. Are you ever searching for what zikr to recite for a particular situation, or which prayer to make for an event or need? The search is over. We bring to you through the Muhammadan Way app an all-encompassing Islamic guide. A platform where you can find all the surahs from Holy Quran, special du'as and prayers, as well as live zikrs and comprehensive Islamic teachings from world-renowned scholars. Download this powerful app now and keep up to date with in-app notifications. Available for download on iOS and Android.